everybody. I made a video yesterday which had positive response, except like one dislike, but I think it's a troll. But it's fine, people can disagree with each other. I believe that that's important. But the degree to which that we disagree and how we handle one another in those debates or arguments, those types of things, is the point right now, right? And I'm having some reservations about it's like I don't want to shut anybody down or their feelings about things or their perceptions about things, but I strongly disagree with some of them to the point where I feel they might be detrimental, which is difficult, because it's like, how do we know unless we explore? Right? But then at the same times, there's so much information coming to us that it's really easy to get lost in the sauce. It's interesting because the reading today, The Secrets in the Sauce, kept coming through, and Lost in the Sauce is something that's coming through to me right now. Because it's a matter of literacy. It's a matter of the ability to comprehend what it is that is being presented to us. A while back I made a video called The Memory of the Ages. It could have just been a blog post, but I was in that exploring literacy, right? And like pictorial storytelling, oral storytelling, literature, human literacy through the ages, and how pretty much everybody can, for the most part, read and comprehend at least to get us through this tech that we use, right? At least social media literacy at some point, right? But there's a level of comprehension that is lacking, and that's partly because we are blasted so much with so many things. It's hard to really look at any individual thing for any length of time and get the meat of it before being inundated with something else. And so it kind of just goes through like this, and it gives us all attention deficit disorder, and it makes it very difficult to make a video more than 3 minutes long that anybody's going to pay attention to, and everybody's feeling this like vigor to express, right? But and so now it's being expressed in memes, short clips, shorts, right? Shorts are always more popular than the long form videos, because it's something quick that people can go through, and the doom scrolling, right? And it's this psychological entrapment that gets us all, and then we react to these things because we're feeling this undercurrent of frustration, and we're seeing things happen that are seemingly out of our control, and making reactionary decisions and taking reactionary actions rather than being able to contemplate what needs to be. I mean, think about it, right? Up until like about 100 years ago, to get from point A to point B took time, right? And up to 30 years ago, we couldn't be contacted if we were away from a phone line, right? And even before then, not even having phone lines, and before then, having to express things over long distances, send messengers, send carrier pigeons. I mean, like this having information and communication right at our fingertips 24 hours a day is an extremely new thing to the human psyche, and it's definitely playing its role in damaging us as it benefits us. So there's these feelings that people are having, these frustrations that people are having, and things that need to be expressed or explored. But rather than having the time to do that, rather than having the comprehensive ability and skill to be able to do that, we are flushed clear of that and shown something else next. And it's the headlines that get us. It's these boom, boom, boom right in our face things. And that, like right now I'm looking at headlines on the YouTube feed on my computer, and it's like, how do we keep her peace? How do we form a structure? How do we mitigate? And again, this like adaptation to what is currently happening here. And I'd like to say a few things, right? Like I feel like in some ways, like I want to take my weather page down, because it is I don't feel I have what is necessary to mitigate all of the information that comes through or that tries to come through, and still maintain credibility and peace. Bottom line, I don't know how to do that. I have another group, Heathen Stargazers, our group here, which a lot of the people that are in the group have post approval because we're a group, right? And I know that these people want to share things and have valuable insight and information, to bring to us, and that I would like to receive from them. At the same time, new people, I still have to put that restriction on and filter through them, because we are not a spin-off group of something else. So if it becomes too many things from one source, I will limit the amount of that comes through, and that's rude to do that to people, probably both on my end to filter them and for them to inundate us with too much of something, right? Because then the message and the other things become washed out, and people don't want all of that. They want the variety. And I think that that's kind of what a place where we need to re-examine, and everything is like allowing information to come through, being open to information coming through, but at the same time not pushing things on people, because what happens when you push, force meets resistance, and that's just how physics works, and we are physical bodies, and so that is how we respond. Our nervous systems respond, right? And it's really getting to the point of too much. It's getting to the point of too much, and not being able to decipher those things, and people responding before they've got the full picture. And this has been going on for a long time, but right now it's going to get even more so, because things are going to get and are getting more so. So just keep that in mind, and then know that if you want to research something and take in that information, be open to it, but also be discriminating. Right? Look into it, and when these things keep happening, there is I'm know how to tell time. Know what direction is what. Know what direction the sun rises, what direction the sun sets. All right. For every 15 minutes on the horizon is a finger. So if you see the sun setting and you put your hand out like this, you know that you have about an hour. You know that you have about 45 minutes, a half an hour, 15 minutes. The sun has set. Okay. And when that happens, different corpusculous critters become active. The world changes. There is a different effect, right? Things like this are important to know. It's important to be able to understand water cycles. It's important to pay attention to the animals around you. It's important to stop looking at all the flashing headlines that are all around you and read a long form book, right? Pay attention to where you are and what's going on and the people's needs around you. A lot of what's happening is being used to distract us and to get us away from things. And it's becoming to the point where we have to remember that this is a shock to the human system, okay? And that for the vast majority of humanity, people couldn't read. Let's go back to the beginning of this. People couldn't read. Most people couldn't read. It was something priests did, scribes did, right? The higher uppers knew how to do this, and they would show people pictures, right? And that's what the paintings on the walls or the stained glass windows, things like that. And now you're getting memes. Those memes have a longer form story. Those things that are happening in our environment have a longer form context. And if you want to react about something, take a look at the longer form context before you fully respond. And I would, again, three sources, right? In college and high school, any of those places, they want three sources, at least credible, reliable sources. And as we degrade our ability to decipher and discern, we degrade our ability to decipher credibility. Okay, and that's why I'm asking everybody to just slow down and understand why I monitor things the way that I do. And I there is so much out there that isn't correct. There's so much out there that isn't correct, and there's so much out there that is, and we need to, rather than fight with each other about it, take the time to have a discussion, but more than that, take the time to learn about the thing, have that internal discussion, find out more information, and then go talk to people who might disagree, and come to a conclusion. Well, why do you feel this way? Well, what is it that is intriguing about this? Well, what is it that you're resisting in that? Well, why? And then understand, because a lot of times, the way something works in like a just how to, right, objective things. This is just the way it is. It's our perception. It's the subjectivity that makes things difficult. And it's also our values. What do you want to see happen? Well, why do you want to see this happen? Well, what is your fear? Because that is the base question here that's going to get us to that point of really self-examining, really understanding why you're reacting to each other this way. What is your fear? That's going to realign your values, or at least outline them so that you can see. Because, and I know that sounds a bit, but that's primitive, right? That's like the very base, and that's what projects our reactions, right? So if we can get down to those base things, even if we're not communicating them loudly with other people and say, I'm scared of this, but getting with that within ourselves is going to, if you can name it, you can tame it. And then it will open you up to more and better information. You won't be so cut off from the things that are coming to you, and you won't be so reactionary to all of the stuff that's flying in our faces all the time. Okay, so again, I'm on the precipice of maybe, I don't know if I should keep that page up. There's a lot of work in there. There's a lot of things I've noticed. There's a lot of research and collected data that's on that page. But what I've found, and I'm just going to say it out right now, is that in all of my years of collecting that data, of all of my years of measuring and drawing and making shapes and writing things, I have come to some conclusions. And one of the things that I've learned is that it's like a greater mechanism in the field, and we do affect it, and it does affect us. I don't think that there is any one source that you can pin on something, because everything is a collective system, and that if we look at it as a collective system and try to find its purpose and function in the greater whole, we'll better understand it, and therefore better understand ourselves. And again, I have no idea what that is. We don't yet, right? I love you. I hope that was helpful, and I'll be talking to you guys soon.